Johnson here, Director of Innovation and Engineering, and Brian Perkuhn, myself, VP Sales Department. So we've been getting a lot of questions the past few months. We've been doing the show circuits. We get a lot of questions posted to the benefits and the features of the Land Roller. So we thought we'd just go through and share some of them, some of the questions that we've gotten over the past, and kind of do a live post to address them. So if you guys got some questions out there that you want to post as well, go ahead and feel free, and we'll see if we can get them all fielded today and in this segment. That being said, I think Bruce has got...
While we're waiting for you to throw some questions at us here, we've got a few that kind of the most common ones we end up hearing on a regular basis. The first one I'll throw at you, Brian, is kind of one of my favorites, which is, I don't have rocks. Are there still reasons that I'd use a Land Roller? We hear that one a lot.
Yep, and that's very common, especially for those guys that are in those rock-free areas. We weren't so lucky growing up in our area that did not have rocks. But the benefits of that in the non-rocky areas is you're able to roll the ground and get all that trash and root balls. So if you're corn on corn or corn before you put beans on, you're able to roll that ground back down, smash down the trash, get that dirt out of there, and leave the soil surface level at that point where you're not ingesting that dirt into the combine. That's common no-no is you're ingesting those root balls full of dirt. You're running that through the combine, wearing it out, so you're actually wearing the combine out and causing beans to be dirty. So we'd like to see it rolled after that and press that residue down, or that trash residue down, and get it all out of the way.
Okay, good answer, Brian. One of the other common ones that we've been hearing a lot about lately, given some of the university studies, is why would you stress a soybean plant by rolling them after emergence?
Very great question there. Some of the studies we've been looking at, and we've been partnering with some of the universities on this as well, is getting some of that fracturing done, which stresses the bean. And when that happens, you're actually breaking the stem or fracturing the stem. And what happens then is the plant itself is actually trying to recover then and bushes out and grows another stem off that, which creates more pods. We're seeing some pretty good results in the different leaf stages that we'll be able to publish right after this year's study of some pretty good yield increases from that benefit. So when you can actually see that cost benefit, people wonder why you spend the money land rolling. You actually get that back in yield, and it's not only as savings to the combine, and ease of harvesting from rolling it flat, but you get it back in yield as well, which the increases have been quite significant. So we're kind of anxious to get through year number 5 here and be able to post some of those results. Great question.
Yeah. Another one of the common ones that we hear a lot for people that maybe are a little bit newer to seeing Land Rollers is, what about compaction? Worry about compaction? You bring a Land Roller over the ground, roll that across the field. What about compaction?
Well, that's a very common question, because you see a large Land Roller drum and you're flattening stuff out, and you think, wow, that thing's just packing the soil and causing compaction later there. And from what we look at from the standpoint, the larger diameter drum, you get a large surface area that covers that soil area. So it's kind of very common to the average guy walking across the soil surface. So it's really no compaction. You're just flattening out that surface and getting a little better seed to soil contact and getting uniform coverage in. So there's really no compaction that's happening underneath the soil. It's more cosmetic from the top side. If you have some trashier conditions where you're seeding into it, it'll actually push that residue back into the soil surface, and people worry about erosion at that point. But with a little bit of trash mixed into the dirt and firming it up, it kind of holds that at bay. So it's it's a common misconception that you're causing compaction or you're making it so flat that you're going to have a lot of erosion. Not as common as you think it is. So when you think of it from a man's standpoint, standing on the ground, it's very, very similar.
Hey, Brian, you mentioned the size of the drum, and we build land rollers with both 36-inch and 42-inch drums. I know there's other land rollers out there with smaller drums, some the same as ours. What are your thoughts in terms of how farmers make decisions about whether they want a 36-inch drum, a 42-inch drum, or perhaps a smaller drum?
Well, very good question again. Our most common size is a 42-inch diameter drum, like you see here in our little display model. And, there's a couple land rollers in the background they've got the 42-inch drums as well. The 42-inch drum has a larger rolling circumference, so it rolls across the ground a little easier. And then, similar to the question before, we address the compaction. You get a little more surface area on the ground, which there's lessens the top layer of compaction there, and then you're able to smooth that out. The 36-inch drum, a little smaller diameter, but the rolling resistance, you give up a little rolling resistance. So if you get into looser, softer soils, sandier ground, peat ground, the smaller 36-inch diameter drums do not turn as well. They'll push a wave per se out in front of the land roller drum, where the 42-inch drum does a nice job of getting over that, and less rolling resistance, so it pulls a little easier as well. So there's some benefits to getting to the larger diameter, not only just because of the weight and be able to make sure we get all that residue flattened in the ground, if you have rock ground, but make sure it's uniform coverage there. It definitely helps in the peat ground for sure, and the sandy soils. So it's definitely a benefit to go to larger drums like we offer in most of our land rollers.
So 42-inch drum is kind of the optimal, the most common.
Yep, 42 inches most common. It is a 9/16 wall thickness, so it's pretty heavy duty built thickness on the web here. All welded end plates on them, so you can actually, there's a 2-inch bung welded into it, so you can actually put water in there if you need more weight for the alfalfa guys or the pasture guys, where you need a little more added weight. Most common, our land rollers weigh anywhere from 450 pounds a foot all the way up to 650, so we have a size that's, or weight and a size that fits pretty much everybody. But very durable units. Both the 36 and the 42-inch drum are made that way, so pretty uniform manufacturing. We call out the specs of our tubing diameter, so our tubing thickness of the 9/16. We actually have a tolerance on there of +0, - a few thousandths, and the overall diameter, we call it a tolerance on that too. So you're not getting secondhand drums, you're getting specifically rolled, and it's rolled to 42-inch diameter and holding that spec on our land rollers. So if you get into those wet, sticky conditions around a slough area or something, we're able to go on there. You're not building up a big diameter of mud and pulling your seed out of the ground. We're shaving that back off and doing a nice uniform job with that.
Okay, thanks, Brian. I know one of the things, talking about the drums and the specs on them, our team puts a great deal of effort into ensuring that we get these shafts perfectly centered, and you walk up to one of these rollers, you can usually spin the roller pretty easily, and they're very well balanced. I guess sometimes we get asked at shows why that's important. Really the biggest thing about that is the smoother that is, the smoother that roller is going to run across the ground, especially when you're rolling at high speeds. And that's going to prolong bearing life. It's going to be easier on the equipment. It's going to be easier on the tractor, easier on the guy driving the tractor if you're riding smooth. So a lot to be said about having a drum that is built to specs and designed and engineered to roll very smoothly.
Right. When we do that, we since the diameter of the drum is uniform and consistent, we're able to use a turret in our jigging fixture that centers that shaft. So it's pretty much centered, like Bruce says. It's pretty balanced.
We have another question here. that we've gotten says, are all Land Rollers basically the same? That's kind of a fun one to take.
Well, in the recent years, we've had a lot of companies pop up that have started building Land Rollers, but we don't feel that they're all the same. We feel that we build a very good, durable product, so we don't consider them the same. We follow up with, like we mentioned earlier, we call out the specs on most of our components on our machines and Land Rollers, and so we're able to build them consistently and durable. So if you're not building them durable and long-lasting, it's they're not all the same. So we went a little jump ahead this year. We stepped up to the plate and we offered a 10-year warranty on that because of that fact. It's kind of backing up what we say. It's built tough, it's built durable, built to last. So we want to stand up to that reputation, and some of the other Land Roller companies don't build them like that. So we want to make sure you're getting quality for your dollar and making sure it's going to be there in the time of need. Downtime in the spring, this spring we're going to be a little late the way it looks. So having some downtime, we want to make sure you don't have that. So having a superior product, we're backing it up with what our new 10-year warranty is. We feel confident that ours is a superior product. So that's a very good question.
And Brian, you talk about downtime. We hear a lot about downtime, and people having concerns about downtime in the field. But with how far out these farms are spread these days, downtime on the road is a big concern too. And I guess that's one of the things we put a tremendous amount of effort into is designing transport systems that are taking into account the amount of time these rollers are spending on the road, the speeds they're being pulled with the tractors these days, and these spread out farms where last thing a guy wants to think about is having downtime on the road when they're trying to get the crop in this spring. And the way it's feeling out here today, the spring in this area at least might be kind of fast and furious when it ever comes.
Yeah, exactly. Good subject there, Bruce. I mean, we did go through and put a lot of updates, or not updates, but changing some of our configuration, our wheels and tires and our spindles and the way we built them. We built them pretty strong, durable across the whole board. So there's something there that'll definitely get you down the road and to the next field in time.
We have another question here. I think we kind of answered it. I don't know if you want to comment anymore. Ben had a question about erosion. I think you kind of touched on that a bit already, Brian. But have you over time had farmers using our Land Rollers that have had concerns with erosion? And if so, what do they do about that? Are there other options? Or?
Well, there's always the concerns of erosion, because when you see the soil surface after you're done rolling, it is pretty smooth. That's where some of the rolling comes in after the crop is up a little bit. That residue holds it down, or the actual residue from the year before crop. Actually, we flatten that into the soil surface. So the erosion is very, very few and far between that we see that. Because the crop does germinate a little faster with land rolling as well, so that the plants are coming back up and holding that soil where it's supposed to be and holding it down. So not a lot, I can see the concern that we're having or getting from it, but not a lot of that going on after the fact.
Okay. I guess probably got time for one or two last questions here. One that I know we just got from a dealer yesterday is what's availability look like? If somebody drug their feet and waited till the last minute and they need a Land Roller for spring of 18, how's it look?
Well, availability has been a concern the last couple of years. We've been selling quite a few, but recently we're sitting pretty good now. Our manufacturing went through some extra steps and got caught back up. So in the short term here, we should be able to deliver, a few more units. So if you haven't gotten yours booked yet or placed, make sure you get out there and do it fast, because every time you wait another day, they get pushed further out. And like Bruce said, spring isn't here yet, but when it comes, it's going to be fast and furious.
And then now would be a really good time to think about booking an order for spring of 19 too, right?
Yeah, if it's not in your budget this year and you're looking for it, and for next year, make sure you contact us. We always honor the best programs, so if you do get it booked early, don't worry about there's a better deal coming down the road. If something else comes out better before that, we always honor that to the customers. So.
One I guess final question here. We've got a wing up, hydraulic fold wing up roller here. We've got one of our inlines. We don't have one of the trail types here, but do you want to talk a little bit briefly, Brian, as we close here, about how farmers make the decision on whether they prefer our wing fold model versus our trail types, or how to decide what's right for a particular farmer, what considerations go into that, and why we carry both styles?
Well, probably the biggest concern is the transport width. We get into areas further east, in the high states, that the narrow transport's kind of a must. With the traffic on the roads and transporting in the ways, they run into that. So our trail behinds or our smaller units, they fit down, 10, 11 feet, so they trail nicer widths. We get up to the wing up models, and they get a little wider in transport width. They're 17 feet wide, so that's a consideration. And then I think a few guys actually posted on our Facebook page as well, as the wing up ones make it easy to tow behind their planters or planting units, so they can actually do the land rolling right as they're planting. So that allows them to save an operation, save a pass. So they're right on the field getting it done. So that's a definite plus for the wing up ones. And then there's a price difference. The wing up ones are more economical, less wheels, less hydraulics, so a little more economical. But on the other hand, they're more user friendly. You hit a hydraulic lever, it's down in the field, you're ready to go. The trail behinds, we do have hydraulic wheels on the very ends to kick them out, so you back up about 20 feet and you're ready to go. But that is a concern if you want to tow it behind a planter unit. So that kind of differentiates where you're going to use it and what the decision is on which way to go with it.
We'll squeeze in one last one that we had pop in here. Sam had a question for us. I'll maybe take a shot at this, and that is, are you coming out with a land roller that will crimp cover crops to help kill cover crops?
Good question for Bruce, since he's the director of innovation.
Yeah. Glad to take that question, Sam. That is something that we've looked at. We've been kind of trying to gauge, the degree of interest in that. We know in certain areas that rolling to kill cover crops is a growing practice. We've actually been doing some experimentation with that, and I guess nothing to announce at this point. If you have ideas, suggestions for us on that, we would love to hear from you. Fire me an email at brucej@summersmfg.com or hit us on our Facebook page with ideas, a way to get in touch with you. We love farmer input. That's where our best ideas come from. So if you've got some suggestions, some ideas, things we should take into account if we go down that path, would love to hear more from you on that, Sam, or anyone else. So that's a good question there, Sam.
Yeah, we're getting a lot more on inquiries on cover crop, how to kill it, and that. So we've been trying a few different things, but nothing's really come across and serviced the whole area of the need. So we're still looking for the right answer, but we're definitely working on that area and looking for that to be an option for us. I don't know if we have any more questions, but we're getting close to our time. We're looking at doing a segment 2, hopefully in the field next time. So we'll actually be able to see some running and see them in action probably. So get your questions ready and queued up for that segment. And without that, make sure you contact us at summersmfg.com. Thank you.
Thank you.